Hey, I'm Kylie of Kylie M Interiors, online paint color consultant and e-design specialist. Today we're looking at Sherwin moderate white. Now a lot of people look at colors like these, especially in the fan deck. You see them all in a row and it can be very intimidating because it's hard to see what's really going on. But should you paint them on a large scale, you'll definitely see what's going on with undertones. So today we're going to talk about LRV, undertones, do some comparisons, as well as the best white paint colors to go with colors like these. So moderate white has an LRV of 74. LRV is light reflectance value, and it tells you how light or dark a paint color is on a scale of 0, which is black, to 100, which is white. So with this guy sitting at 74, it's an off-white paint color. It's not getting close to the white range. It's if anything, it's a bit closer to the light range. It has a bit more meat on its bones, but it's a very soft, gentle color. Now, if you had a room that was really well lit, it's going to wash out and it will look more like a warm white. But if you have a darker room, it's going to just be a soft, muted, gentle look on your walls. And you want some white trim just to give some contrast to show it off. And you also need to give it some artificial light so it can really come to life because it has undertones. Every paint color has undertones, grays, beiges, creams, everything. Now moderate white, we're going to say that it's an off-white beige tone. It has a little bit of orange in it, also has some pink in it. That can sound quite scary, but it actually is one of the most flexible, warm off-whites on the market for those homes that were built in the, early 2000s, mid 2000s. A lot of the tiles and countertops really suit colors like moderate white. There's a few that surround it that you can also check out too, but a lot of people start out too warm, too yellow, whereas these really do the trick. If you have north-facing light, you might find moderate white softens up that bit. It won't lose its warmth, but you might find the undertones a little bit less noticeable. If you have south-facing light, afternoon western light, even a little bit of morning eastern light, you might see those undertones a bit more, but they are wrapped up in a neutral base. Now, let's do some comparisons. Sherwin Panda White. So this one's sitting right above it in the fan deck. It's a bit lighter. You can see we lose a little bit of the beige looks, a little bit of the orange. We pick up a little bit of yellow. And Panda White, while you rarely ever see it, there's a tiny wink of green hiding in there, but you wouldn't know it. So that's that shift there. Remember, comparison is one of the best ways to pick paint colors, so do this at home too. Steamed milk. Steamed milk, that has a comparable LRV. It's probably just a shift lighter. There's just a little bit more yellow in there. So if the pink makes you nervous, maybe a little bit more yellow that's hiding in there could balance it out for you. Divine White, now this one is underneath moderate white on the big strip in the fan deck. So that one leans that little bit more into pink, and it might show you how well balanced moderate white is with its orange pink undertone, that it's not, it might sound scarier than it looks because a lot of people are afraid of orange and pink. And you don't need to be if it's what suits your home. Creamy. So this is a lot of times where people start when they're looking for colors like these, warm, soft, off-whites. You're going to see that difference. So creamy is a cream. Creams are yellow-based paint colors. So you can see that difference there. And sometimes that cream is just a little bit too much for the average beige tile, tan tile. So you do want to be really careful. It's definitely worth checking these because any one of them could work with your products. But I think moderate white is a great place to start. Now I want to show you a few whites. It's really hard to hit whites to go with these. A lot of times when people say they paint their walls moderate white, they're almost inclined to do their trim indoors the same color, so it's a seamless, soft approach. If you do your trim white, it will show off the color of this more, so you'll see a little bit more contrast, but you want to be careful. Alabaster, that's a warm white with a bit of yellow in it. I find the yellow sits a bit off with the more orange-pink undertones in moderate white. Not a big fan. Could you pull it off? I wouldn't. I don't think I would. Pure white. Pure white's a soft, warm white. Nice. And high reflective white, which is the whitest white. And I have reviews on these too, so you can check them out if they interest you. So that's a more clean white look. I'd be between high reflective white and pure white. It would depend on the other finishes in the room as to what made sense. I could even be tempted to ask them to lighten moderate white. Sometimes they can't lighten paint. There's not enough tint in the can to do that, but if you're curious that you want to do your ceiling or you want to see what it would look like for trim, try it 50% lighter. Maybe they can do it. Try it 25% lighter. I play with paint colors all the time, and sometimes it's this subtle shift that just hits the right spot. So there you have it. I'm going to be doing reviews on a few more of these as well, so watch for those. You can find me on Instagram, my blog, and thank you for subscribing to my YouTube channel.